We are here to mourn the loss of Tip Huggins, just a fine young man of Iraq that so many of you were lucky enough to know as a friend, partner, or child. He loved to walk around his iconic city until some parkouring adventurer in a full granite set of armor jumped onto the roof above him, knocking down a brick and killing him. Every single preventable death is an affront to the world. Hey, can you cut that out? Huh? Can you stop? Oh. Yeah, I'm at level 57 woodcutting. No, what? Not what level are you? Can you stop woodcutting? Oh, I'm so sorry. We're trying to have a funeral here. We're trying to honor a treasure. What kind of wood are you burying him in? What? Said, what kind of wood are you burying him in? Oh, just regular wood? Oh, that's definitely not good enough. He's not moving on. What do you mean? He's not going to ascend to the heaviside layer with wood like that. What's the heaviside layer? Oh, it's the afterlife from the Cats musical. It's like cat heaven? No, not exactly. The whole plot of that musical is like a talent show to see which cat gets to die, pretty much, and go up there. Oh, what? Dang. Okay, let me help you out. I can take the body, I can put it in my backpack, the old corpse Jansport. I'll help him move on to make it up for, interrupting this whole gathering. No. Oh, I'm working real hard to get the best logs possible so I can put these souls to rest. It's really no problem at all. These magic log burials I'm going to perform are going to look like a Lisa Frank effigy. No. Okay. Your loss. I mean, I'm sorry for your loss. Also, watch out. There are also parkouring adventurers here. What? I said there are some parkouring adventurers here. Oh, I'm level 4 prayer. No, what? Wait, you're only level 4 prayer? I'm making a new character on RuneScape, but not allowing myself access to the wiki or any informative plugins. The only wiki pages I can view will be 5 random ones. I will then have to encounter them in-game before I can generate a new one. Unlock the wiki one page at a time. I'm Scramp, and this is RuneScape, WikiLocked. So, to recap where we're at, we're currently hiding out, just cutting trees for a long time. We're laying low after we made a fool out of ourselves at the Barbarian Assault Prom, trying to get the Honor Points page. I mean, we did get the page successfully after playing each Barbarian Assault role, but we did live up to the theme and made it a night to remember. We ran away with a new page to re-roll. We started the new phase of our life with a stinky bender, like a freshman in college discovering pot. We rolled chopped garlic, then garlic, knocking those pages out in minutes. There's a real garlic knot recipe here. Again, this is real, make it. We also knocked out the Tsar Mej and mined Lovakite ore, opening a total of 3 new pages, 2 of which are annoying for very different reasons. There's Charlie the Cook, that has a decently long quest chain, and requires hopping into the Shield of Arav chat twice. And then the Corporeal Beastmaster combat achievement, which means killing this guy 50 times. What even is it? Obviously, this one is way worse than just having to be social with the Charlie the Cook page, but there's something really funny to me about putting off the Shield of Arav quests, like just as a bit. Finally getting around to Shield of Arav for a quest cape feels so funny to me. Who knows, I'm now realizing with this series that some things I think are scary really aren't, and I underestimate the difficulty of others. For example, I really did not want to go to Fossil Island at the beginning of the series, and it turns out it wasn't that bad. An example of underestimating, the other page I rolled was the Silver Key Purple, and I figured it was the simplest by far. Turns out I didn't scroll far enough on the wiki page to see that it needed 80 fire making, and I assumed 75 wood cutting to get the magic logs to consistently burn. A little tip, if your account challenge has only given you 15 total wiki pages to read the entire page. But we're already going all in on this one, so it's time to grind. So we're just wood cutting uncomfortably close to the cemetery here until we get to 60. Level 60 finally gets us to unlock the Woodcutting Guild, where we can cut down our highest level trees with yews, and we can finally buy a rune axe, and not use the steel one we got from Bob's axes. We go over, and it turns out the Woodcutting Guild does not have Bob's low prices. That is more money than we have. I do my final Wildy target maze run, And after that, we're only around 2k under what we need to buy the axe. I could go back and just stuff 2 plate bodies into my pants, but I get real lazy, and I don't want to run out there or think of any other way to get the 2k, so I just pawn our rune pickaxe. We got tons of ore from getting 65 mining, we don't need it right now, and with that, we can buy the rune axe and begin the final wave of the woodcutting grind. We're going through the progression of pretty much all the trees in the game, from the just regular tree to magic trees. And I'm really curious how they came up with their listing. The bottom, level 0, we just have trees. This confuses me a little bit. There's no such thing as just a tree. There's no generic Kirkland brand tree out there in nature. Every tree is its own kind. Maybe they're referring to every tree that doesn't fall under the later categories and also not including fruit trees. But looking at the common trees in Great Britain, I'm just not seeing that much similarities between the local beeches and birches, junipers and poplars. I'm no botanist. If I was, I'd be outside. Maybe they're pine? They feel like they have much more in common with the common trees in game dev acid packs than the English hornbeams and hollies. But next up we have oaks. Not only are oaks real, they're the real deal. They're used for everything: construction, furniture, shipmaking, wines and whiskeys, hibernate in oak casks until they're ready to get your uncle f***ed up and your family dinner weird. It's the national tree of so many countries. And while doing this all, managed to get his doctorate. Oak does it all, which is surprising that it's the second lowest spot. Next, we got willows. Willows have had medical significance from early civilization, including in the 17th century when they were believed to staunch wounds, provoke urine, and stay the heat of lust. That's right, willow trees, I guess, make you not horny. Just like cornflakes. I initially thought that cornflakes were specifically invented to stop masturbation, but John Kellogg, cornflake creator, created bland foods in general to stop masturbation. I do think that's pretty much true. After that, maple trees. Maple trees have less large structural use than oak, but they still make a lot of things. They're the most commonly used professional baseball bat. They're used often in music to make the necks of electric guitars and make bassoons. They're commonly used in archery, so that makes sense for their higher fletching level. And you can't forget about food. If we follow John Kellogg's thesis that bland food makes you more likely to be celibate, then maple trees will really get you turned on. They're used commonly to smoke meats, make whiskey, and of course, syrup. Yew trees! They can live from 400 to 600 years. In RuneScape, that's closer to 4 to 6 minutes until someone cuts them down to get XP, and their logs will remain unused in the bank for years, but they'll regrow right back in a few seconds, so who cares about conservation in Gugnius? They're mainly bendy. That's their deal, which does make them perfect for longbows. They're also toxic, so I know that yew longbow looks yummy, but don't eat it. Now we have magic trees. These, they're not real, right? Yeah, of course they're not real, I knew that. There is the magic tree house, but it's hard for kids to have adventures in RuneScape where they are whimsically whisked off to some of history's most violent and intense moments because adventurers are immediately going to cut the trees down. And I think that's best for the safety of everybody. So if I were to rearrange these, I think we'd start with dead trees, actually, level 0. They'd be the easiest to cut down, they're dead. Then the iconic oaks can stay where they are. Then, believe it or not, yew trees. They're just old and bendy. After that, maple. Also maybe, I don't know, maybe the fire you use to burn meat could give it like a special advantage. I don't know, I've come up with a lot of cooking and flavoring based ideas for the cooking skill to get bonuses. Maybe it's silly, and I don't want to play on the British stereotype, but Jagex, season your goddamn food. Then we have magic. I just think they're neat, and more people should get to look at them. This would absolutely be my first time ever getting to cut them down, and it's taking so long, I've got on this botany barrage. And then we have willows. They should be way bigger and gnarled and maybe sentient? I think the grind to get these should reflect the birth control device they were originally meant to be. And finally, we have the highest level tree. Tree. If they're gonna have just a tree that defines rigorous botanical classification, then it should be the ultimate boss. A tree that spits in the face of classification, that only the truest woodsman can cut down. Tree. Well, while we're delving into that, I got 75 woodcutting, so thanks for being patient with me there. Really not too interesting, mostly just thought about trees. I had never been into the woodcutting guild before, and it definitely felt like a pretty high level zone. I don't know why anyone else would be full sending woodcutting at my account progression, so that felt a little embarrassing. But now we can cut down magic trees. They're beautiful. Hypnotizing, glittery creations. And with that done, we can go to fire making. Fire making is an interesting skill in RuneScape. While a lot of the skills make sense as adventure abilities, fire making seems pulled out of a scout's manual more than a typical RPG. Screw sailing, where's the skills in horsemanship, stamp collection, and dentistry? So I light a ton of maple logs in Sears Village, just making a consistent finish line for people doing the Sears Agility course. I'm trying to bring the drama and production of American Ninja Warrior, or Guts, to Agility. That skill would be a lot easier if there were fires and glitter cannons when you finished a lap, or if they just added the aggro crag. We get 50 fire making, so it's time for the real fire making method. If you've ever played RuneScape even a bit, you'd probably be familiar with this boss, the Winter Tot. It's a big winter storm they've put in tornado jail, and basically you act as part of a perpetual fire department in order to calm the storm. But just like working at the Motherlode Mine, they do not provide the equipment for you. So you need to find some pieces of warm equipment on your own. Blizzard Jail is unsurprisingly cold. Without the required, I believe, 4 warm pieces of clothing, I assume you take either extra or more cold damage. So it's time to try to find some warm clothes, to dress a bit more appropriately for this boss than I did Barbarian Assault. My first thought is maybe I can grab some holiday items from the wacky event item shop in Draenor Village. Santa hat and robe would be perfect. It at least keeps Kris Kringle warm in the Arctic prison he runs. But those aren't available to grab. But there is another event that comes in absolutely clutch for us. Pride! Happy Pride, y'all! Oh, did I fully miss it? Well, we're not going to do the brand thing and completely forget Pride ever happened come July. So actually, July is now going to be Pride 2 here on my YouTube channel. Sorry, National Ice Cream Month. Oh, sorry, Reagan, your treasured National Ice Cream Month is now Pride 2. We grabbed the rainbow jumper and scarf from Gilbert, which I think technically count as warm items. I mean, a scarf should absolutely warm you up, and same with what I assume is a wool knitted pride flag sweater. I really like how, I assume, these pride items actually do have some functional use. It would be a fun twist in the performative pride celebration to have these items actually be best in slot for some high-level raid somehow. I mean, this might be a little performative, but when is Jagex gonna get the courage to make the stone wall brick the best in slot ranged item for Pride? Just an idea. Or a sweater for Charlie XCS's new album. Also, I don't think this is a warm item, but the silly item shot does have a banana magic hat. So yeah, we're also wearing that. This is what an ally looks like. That's only 2 warm items. Maybe 3 if banana hat somehow comes in clutch. But I think that's better than nothing, and we have tons of fish that'll help us recover from the intense cold damage. There is another warm item that I saw people wielding that can definitely get us more toasty. A fire staff. I never thought about the staffs actually emitting their specific element, but I saw tons of fire staffs, so I'm pretty sure they work that way. I guess the mist staffs would then act like one of those fan spritzers people wield in Disney World. Before you get started with the boss though, you have to pick your corner. There are 4 identical stations on each side of this freezy arena, all with a tree and a walk of sorts. Personally, the 2 stations right in the front are far too busy for me. It's hard to tell where you're at or if you're taking damage in the horde of people running back and forth. Also, the chat over here can be pretty out of pocket. I love the top right corner station. It feels much more peaceful. For some reason, I never do top left, but I'm sure it's nice as well. So once you're at your preferred station, you cut down the bruma trees and feed the logs into the fire that magically attacks the whirling vortex in the center of the room. You can drop the logs in normally, or you can cut them up into little potpourri strips that you drop into the flames. Making bruma potpourri gets you fletching XP and more points, we'll get back to those later, but skipping the fletching and just dropping the logs in gets you more fire making XP over time, I believe. We, the firefighters, well, more like fire starters of Karen, don't actually do the fire attacking. That would be the wizards or pyromancers or whoever are levitating and chanting right next to the walks. At some points, the evil blizzard drops snow onto these wizards, and they're too busy in their trance to just move 1 space to the right. And if they get hit enough times, they'll drop the magical Latin and just call for their mommy. There's an herb growing there that you can mix with water to give them electrolytes or whatever and get them back to work. If they're down and your fire goes out, you can't light the fire again until mommy comes and gives them their juice. So I always try to bring the vial to make the bruma juice right there. But more often than not, the blizzard said snow attacks towards you and your fellow fire starters. These attacks are dodgeable, unlike the cold damage that happens periodically throughout the round. Even if you have full winter tot gear, you'd still take damage like me who's unprepared for the cold. I think the most powerful attack the Winter Tot has is when it explodes the wok, and it sends large shards of metal everywhere. You can repair the brazier before lighting it again, and that gives you construction experience. That's pretty much it. You keep kindling the fire and hope you don't take that much damage, and if you get over 500 points at the end of the round, the citizens of Kourend all pool up to get you a goodie basket. Those poor Kourend taxpayers, they have to give tons of their possessions up indefinitely to the fire department. No wonder they're protesting. I wonder how they decided what can even go into the gift crates. That had to be a town council meeting at a Parks and Rec. Okay! Thanks to the pyromancers, we were able to seal off the Winter Tot. Hooray! Yes, it's finally gone! Well, almost. We did put it in a little box, but we're gonna need to have volunteers work around the clock to make sure it never escapes. Oh. And we thought, to show your gratitude, you can all put a little bit of supplies to reward the brave fire department that is battling the frigid tempest. Why can't you do it? So, what can people put in? A thank you letter? No, that's worthless. Gold would be much better. You all can put in gold. I make homemade cakes. Would that work? No, that doesn't feel right. I got raw fish. Yes, perfect. Throw as many as you can in the box. This phoenix keeps setting my bird feeder on fire. How about you stuff it in a crate? Well, maybe some runes would help these magical pyromancers. No. How about dynamite? Oh, yes, absolutely. But before we stack up the crates and really begin our Winter Tot grind, I realize I'm not getting any of the construction experience from repairing the brazier because I haven't started or learned about the skill yet. So let's go to Varrock and complete the Daddy's Home mini quest. It's about a worker at the Mahogany Homes Company that wants to rebuild his dad's house, and for some corporate reason he can't do it, but we can. We get to his dad's ratty old place, and Old Man Yarlow wheels out one of those CRT TV stands that came out whenever you watched a movie in class to show us a video on the wonders of construction. And with that, I think we unlock the skill. But we might as well do the actual quest to get some levels and perks. But first, we have to tear apart all of his old furniture and then go buy supplies out of our own pocket to build his new digs. I wish it could have been like an extreme home makeover where we build his entire room based off one thing he said he had a passing interest in. Hey, Old Man Yarlow, you offered us some Pringles when we came in, so we knew you were a fan of the potato snack. I hope you enjoy your new bedroom! We did tell his son back in Mahogany Homes we got the job done, and even though he's not allowed to help his dad with some chairs and a rug, he can give us a house for free. I guess that's made easier by the fact that houses in RuneScape are in some pocket dimension outside of space and time, so maybe his boss won't find out. So, now we're ready to face off the Winter Tot for real. We get into our Pyromancer routine, mostly just hoping for the proper Pyromancer robes to drop from our citizen goodie crates. Amidst all of the extra weeds from the citizens' gardens and all the fish they caught that absolutely would have gone bad just being stuffed in a wooden crate if it wasn't for these sub-zero temperatures, is our fire department uniform, sewn by some incredibly talented citizen. That's what we're going for. I hope my Pyromancer equipment doesn't come in the same crate as 6 loose tuna, because that smell is not washing out. The only way to get them is by getting our 500 point requirement and figuring out a superstitious routine for opening crates for the max chance of getting some good loot. Maybe there's some levels you should get that influences the quality of items, but I'm most concerned about how many crates I will be opening at once. I start by opening 3 at a time. Initial results are disappointing. I move on to getting 4 at a time. And around Winter Tot kill 32, and also a kill? I'm sorry, you can't kill a tornado that just keeps coming up 1 minute later. It's a temporary whimper. So at Winter Tot Whimper 32, I find the Pyromancer top, with some loose gold ore, and then right after that, I get another collection log with the burnt pages. Those are to fill up another collection log item. You can get the Tome of Fire. It's the hot new book, the novel of the summer. You can't actually read it, but by holding it, you look really cool, like someone reading theory on the subway. But our luck is not over yet. We then get the Pyromancer hood, and it's just with a single acorn, so it was a nice woody smell. Well, that went as well as it could, so I for sure have enough warm pieces of equipment. Unfortunately, we do lose the Pride Jumper because I think these Pyromancer pieces give 0.01% of extra fire making experience or whatever, and we want the grind to end as soon as possible. So we continue to scatter our Bruma Potpourri to whimper the Winter Tot. And since our last crate experience went so well, I'm now opening 5 and 6 crates at a time. Nothing initially, and then, nice, we get the pants as well. All these pieces at only 37 Winter Tot whimpers. One of my least favorite things about not having the wiki is I can't even tell if that's good or not. Like, I feel like this is good, and I should be happy, but I don't have statistical proof that I should be happy. So we will do the scientific thing, and we will be neutral about this. Cool. A drop. We are looking good, though, okay? We're looking almost ready for the yearly Pyromancer calendar. And we're not a Mr. March contender, obviously, but maybe in November? Whereas I felt like a big noob because I had no gear and was a low level at the Woodcutting Guild, it's the exact opposite here because I feel like a noob for being too high of a level. The cold damage from Winter Tot scales based on your total HP, I believe, so it's much easier to do with lower hit points. So I feel like a fool in between the high-level pros and the low-level efficient players, with my level 69 nice combat-looking ass. Maybe eventually my starting account method of rushing agility and fishing in order to run through the God Wars dungeon will pick up as the right way to begin playing the game, but only time will tell. We continue to fight the Winter Tot, making pretty solid progress towards 80 fire making. So it's time to start thinking about our plan once we get back to the overrun catacombs in Morton. The shades we were up to already messed us up pretty badly, so we need to go in with a new strategy. It's time to level up magic. I know RuneScape is by far the most accurate combat and battle simulator out there. It is an exact copy on how martial hand-to-hand combat works. Fighters stand still next to each other, each taking their own turn to swing, slowly chipping away at each other's health, unless of course one combatant scarfs down a trout like a cartoon character, which obviously heals their wounds and stops any bleeding. A very important combat maneuver in RuneScape is the safe spot. How it works is the player hides behind some terrain object and range attacks their desired enemy. If it all goes according to plan, they will not navigate around that terrain and instead just hang out there, accepting defeat at the hands of the incredibly tactical adventurer. Sort of just short circuits the enemy's brain. You can attack them for as long as you like. They just don't know how to climb a fence, I guess. So we're gonna get our magic up so we can hide behind the tombs and caskets in the catacomb rooms and just snipe those high-level shades. We could do magic or ranged. Both of those are at level 1 right now. So why magic? The magic skill just has some bonuses that bows and arrows will never be able to provide. That being transportation and the ability to print money. I have put some significant time into this account and I still have no ways at all of transportation. I am still walking everywhere and it sucks. RuneScape has no accessible forms of transportation, so the easiest way to get around is to learn ancient and powerful magic in order to blink around the map. And there's also a spell we can unlock, high-level alchemy. You can take any item and magically convert it to its market price. If you could have one skill in real life, I don't know why you wouldn't choose magic. Just those 2 spells alone would change anyone's life. No more needing to deal with the airport to get around. You can just instantly teleport there. No more being rocked by the price of cold and sad airport sandwiches. You'll be fine with those prices because you will have unlimited money from casting high-level alchemy on novelty eBay items, like the Among Us chicken nugget that sold for $100,000. So, we're learning magic, obviously. And there's a convenient place that will help us begin our journey, as well as learning a bit more about the storm we've been hanging out with the past few days. The Arceus library is right in front of the Winter Tot cage. Classic. The first thing the kingdom throws to the impending storm is the library. It's a very big library. The first thing we do is find someone that knows about the story of Winter Tot. I'm hoping to learn a little bit more about what the Winter Tot's deal is, what it is, or where it comes from. Oh, they don't know what it is or where it came from. Okay. Well, there are people here who need help finding books. Since the librarian here is really doing the profession a disservice and is shushing every single person and every single thing I say, I try, I think, every dialogue path and it's only shushes. So, I guess it's up to us to find people's books for them. And with this library, it's a mess. The default RuneLite plugin just hardwires the Dewey Decimal System into your head, so you can see where every single book will be after you do some calibrating. We don't have that enabled, so we have to just click one book at a time until we find the one we need? I tried that for a minute, but no way, that can't be the way. There has to be some guide. I run around a bit, talk to some unhelpful wizards, but then this very helpful wizard, Biblia, helps us out. We're looking for the book Killing of a King, and she tells us the section. Now we still have to click every single sequential shelf tile, but at least it's only in one section. And eventually we get it. Oh, it's a single poem scroll. We return that and get our Book of Knowledge that opens our mind and gives us magic experience. 15 magic experience? That's it? Okay, no. We're trying other ways to become wizards. Attempt number 2. I always see people that are training magic on these birds. It seems to be AFK because they're never hitting them. Birds are intensely magical, I suppose, and make good, wise mentors. We buy some starting runes at the shop I didn't get murdered at. We have some coin from the citizens of Kourend. The salary for a volunteer fire starter is outrageous. We have 70k gold and spend like 15,000 of it on some simple runes. And it's time to commune with our bird teacher and we kill them. Okay, so it's not as simple as it looks. We do get 3 magic though. Thanks, gulls. Attempt 3. Killing these little f***ers to get beads. Imp Catcher is a quest where you just collect the, I think, 4 beads for some Mardi Gras loving wizard. They drop a lot of random stuff, so it takes a moment before we get all of those dropped and run past the swamp to get to our New Orleans wizard tower. I get a bit of cheeky quest dialogue because I have the items already before I even start the quest, and I promise this is the last time this will ever happen on the account. The wizard assembles his beads, which is just so much more embarrassing than one large orb. The wizard ponders their orb. What do you do with your beads? You peep at your beads? No, that doesn't feel right. We get ready for the ritual and nothing happens. Well, we do complete the quest that gets us up to 19 magic, but most of those levels were from blasting imps. We also do get the Amulet of Accuracy, but that also wasn't created from the ritual. He had that in a K Jeweler's bag in the corner the whole time. Now we're at 19 magic. So now we should just have enough to go back to the Fossil Island Crab Buffet and steam some crabs. Do that till our rune supply goes dry at 39 magic. That'll do. But before we can use our newfound magic skills to tactically destroy these shades, we have to get to 80 fire making. So let's knock this grind out. 53 Wintertot Whimpers. Nothing in these 5 packs. Open a group of 6 now. Nothing to note. Well, I do have one concern at the moment. I've gotten magic logs from these crates. I really hope it's because of my 75 woodcutting, because if I could have gotten those logs without needing to go all the way up to 75 woodcutting, I would have learned about trees for nothing. Our fletching and construction levels are going up significantly. Fletching more so, but it's nice to get any start on construction so we can move closer to one of our page goals. Building the portal nexus, that needs 72 construction. That's also going to need quite a bit of bank, but thankfully it looks like the Kourend taxpayers might help me fund my future mansion. Oh, they'd love that. We enter a bit of a dry streak, and then I travel a bit for a friend's wedding. And on my way there, I find myself on a 5-hour delayed connecting flight. Finally boarded, but they say they're looking for a piece of the plane, which is the most vague, concerning thing a pilot could say. A storm was coming later that day, and I was checking every 10 minutes to make sure it wouldn't be a problem, and it wouldn't have been, but we got delayed so long looking for that missing piece that as we're about to be next to fly, the sky goes dark with flashes of lightning. Nice. And then right behind me, a woman begins to try to start some kind of passengers rebellion. She starts yelling that they don't have the right to do this and keep us, and we need fluids every 15 minutes, and how the storm wasn't really the issue, which that part I really didn't get, because the lightning was right there. So now I'm doubly stressed out. So I decided to download the mobile client while I still have service and open some crates I had ready. I need a win. And I get it. Back to back, we get the warm boots and gloves. Again, scientifically, I don't know if I should be happy about this, so I'll just say it feels very satisfactory to get this win. Thankfully, the one behind me kind of calmed down a little bit, though there would have been a chance to verify, this story is true if this became another one of those viral stories about a woman freaking out on a flight, and in that kind of shaky cell phone video that's posted to the news website, you can see me right in front of her, just on my phone unlocking these crates. That would have been worth it. I did fight the boss a lot more on mobile to try to get that jackpot again, but no dice. And that's pretty much the end of our drops. We keep on starting the fire. Eventually, we have 120 Wintertot Whimpers, we're construction level 21, and fletching level 41. Not bad. And we have every Wintertot combat task except for one. Why fletch? I mean, I might as well try to knock it out while I'm here in case I get one of those combat tasks instead of kill God 1,000 times or whatever I'm more likely to get. The combat achievement requires 3,000 points in one round, so I guess I need to take on the storm solo. So on the eve of getting level 80, I try it. And I bring all of the finest fish the Karen citizens packed up for me in their little gift HelloFresh boxes. This isn't sponsored by them, okay? Sorry for the SpawnCon jump scare. The solo fight is not as easy as I thought. In order to maximize points, I try to fletch everything while the braziers are off, so I can store up points while the Wintertot countdown is paused, but maybe because there's no heat, I'm getting consistently wrecked by the cold. Before I'm even halfway, I run out of my super filling swordfish and lobster. But in that process, I get level 80 firemaking. So we did it. Mission accomplished. Forget about the other goal I mentioned. That didn't happen. I never cared about that. We're finally ready to light an effigy so iconic and sparkly we get our silver key purple. First, we need to get some proper wizard clothes. And we have money to spend. Fully 169k from those crates. So we completely buy out Remedi's Fine Fashion Store and the Gnome Stronghold and buy wizarding robes in every single possible pastel color. I think only the wizard hat gives us a magic boost, but either way we are looking good and have so many outfit options. And now I'm feeling cool and rich enough to go back to Aubrey's rune shop where I was mugged to death so long ago. And I buy a 6-pack of Chaos runes and actually that is a lot of money. Oof. For 600 Firebolt casts, we get below 100k cash again. But that's okay. That's okay. It'll be worth it. We get the rest of our stuff ready to go back to Morton. We load back up our Corpse Jansport backpack, some olive oil, the flame tar bag. Wait, what? Where is that? I think I had that bag at some point. I think I lost the bag that I could put all my building equipment in. I don't see it anywhere. I look up sack and bag and help in the bank and nothing comes up. My only guess is I died a while ago. I've been working on these grinds for a while since editing last episode, so I must have forgotten. I did find a video saved called I Have Arisen and was filmed right outside of Death's Domain in Lumbridge, so that sucks. But I teleport over and get to sacrifice my new highest level shade with the Blessed Yew logs. And all we have to do is give a solid eulogy. We're gathered here to remember the life of this Assen shade. They were a feisty one in the catacombs, I'll tell you that. But I can tell they had a lust for life, and at one point were compassionate and kind and fuck, I forgot a tinder box. Okay, sorry. Everybody wait 1 second. Let me run over to the shopkeep's price gauged up store and come right back. And oh, damn, you're gone. Well, that sucks. But I have one shade left, so we can free this shade soul and hope we can get a new tiered key. And nope, just some coins. Well, that sucks. But now it's finally time to get to try our galaxy brain safe spotting mechanics in these crypt rooms. And it's not seeming to work. They're moving around and our character forgets all about the plan and runs right into danger when I try to attack. And they keep attacking me and I have no defense now because of my robes and literally escape with 1 HP from the catacombs. Well, that sucks. On the next episode of WikiLocked, forgive me, Father, for I've failed. It's been 1 episode since I've completed a task, and I've not been able to put these souls to rest like I promised you. Hey, what did you promise me? Oh, is your head okay after the parkour accident? Oh, no, I'm the new pastor. The old one died. Oh, damn. My condolences. You have a striking resemblance. That's how death works here in Gilnear. You just sort of take the body of the person that died before you. Tell me more about your task. No, actually, wait, can we unpack that? Talk to me more about your task. Okay. Well, I just needed to get the silver key purple. I've now gotten a skill in the 70s and 80s for it, but now the issue is I just get rocked by the shades. For some reason, they don't want me to burn them on my sparkly logs, and even more surprisingly, when I try to hide behind terrain, they just moved right through it, like they're ghosts or something. Well, prayer can help you with that problem. Yeah, by filling me with the courage to persevere or whatever. No, by giving you a complete force field that will block all physical attacks from harming you. Oh, damn, yeah, that would actually be perfect. Well, you just have to really commit to your religious studies. Only the most holy can use these protection prayers. Well, I guess that's my next goal. Let's get those protection prayers. Wait, actually, I have one more question, Father. Of course. What is it, my child? Is the Pope-mobile using Protect from missiles? Thank you all so much for watching. The biggest shout out to my Patreon for making this all possible. Come on and join the Lumbridge community pool for just $1. Also, coming soon to the Patreon will be Lumbridge Pirate Radio, the radio show where I'll do some hard-hitting journalism and research without the wiki into some of the weird rabbit holes I'm curious about in OSRS. Think of it like Brian David Gilbert's Unraveled meets National Public Radio. BDG meets NPR. On the first episode, I'll be checking out all the possible books from the Karen Library to see which one will make the best beach read of the summer. And then I'll be taking a closer look at transportation and RuneScape to see what is actually doable for the average citizen, and what else could be possible. So hop in if you feel like it, and a big thank you to Doomcat, Galaxy Dork, Maxrimus, Ninja00283, Matt, Connor, Beerche, Lil Zos, Chuck Quizmo, Jillybean, Murgatroyd99, Knowledge, Goopdaroop, Dinky Smecker, Eva, Mibbles, Poop Chimp, Sky Dreamer, Veep, Nako, and Jimmy Dory. Thanks for watching!